What's up, guys? It's Billy here, and we're at St. Joe RetroCon, and I'm sitting here with Mr. Robbie Rist,
Hello, sir.
aka, Michelangelo from the live action Ninja Turtles. We got
Sure.
cousin Oliver from the Brady Bunch.
And right there, most of your audience went, I'm sorry, who?
What?
Yeah,
But
that was
yeah,
a million years ago.
well,
They're,
guys,
they're actually pulling the bones, the fossilized bones of character actors from that time out of the ground right now.
right. Well, man, how are you doing today?
Great. Here at the, here in St. Joseph, Missouri, doing, what is this Comic-Con called?
St. Joe RetroCon.
St. Joe RetroCon.
That's
We do so many of these, like, it all starts to look like one convention
right.
center, one plane, one air,
Right.
So, like, what is the name? It's like when bands tour, invariably, if they have a big, long tour, you'll see on the monitor, someone will have taped the name of the city.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, Cleveland.
That's awesome. Well, one of the questions I love to ask people is, you're in a ton of stuff that bring a lot of people joy, man. How does that feel to you, just knowing you're a part of this thing that, all these things that bring people just happiness and joy, man?
Well, I guess you start doing it because it brings you joy. Right? So when I was a kid, I'm putting on plays for the dog and,
Yeah.
whatever. But after a while, you start to realize that these jobs that you do, uh, whether they make people happy or they make people whatever, your job is to elicit a response, right? And so hopefully if you do your job well enough, you get a lot of positive response,
Yeah.
right? And I really feel fortunate that I keep stumbling into things that make people happy, but they're also not the way the Punisher makes people happy.
Right.
I mean, I'm joking, but uh, the Turtles thing, Naruto thing, Doc McStuffins, all of these things, I don't know. I guess I'm grateful is the word I
Yeah.
think that I get to be involved with things that do make people happy and are a force for good change.
Yeah.
Because of the turtle thing, we do these conventions and part of the meeting people who are into these things, part of that transaction is less that I'm a performer and more that they are, in that a lot of people have a story having to do with this thing that they love very much, right? And so now that's my job, is to bear witness to their story.
Yeah.
And some of them are incredible. There are people that I knew that became martial artists because of and under circumstances where it was because they were getting pushed around. And they, became black belts or people that became really great graphic artists. I mean, I've been doing this now for like 15 or so years, so there's, I get home and I'm kind of emotionally tired,
Yeah.
but also inspired at the same time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that is so true, because I mentioned
Hey, now.
before we started here, I'm a science teacher at high school, and I think back to my childhood with, characters like Donatello from the Turtles, or the Blue Power Ranger, or countless people from Star Trek, or you got all these characters that influenced me. I know they influenced me, and now I'm learn science, teaching science. So same thing with the guys that do martial arts, and
Any number of things, of course.
it's such a cool positive impact that
Yeah, and
you
some
guys.
people want to become actors because of it,
Yep,
and some
yep,
people, it's art is good.
yep.
Like, I know that sounds very simplistic, but I I find it funny that specifically American culture views art as if they don't view it as an outright commodity, they look at it as not. It's not always a part of your life. If you go get it, you go get art.
Yeah.
Where, I've spent a lot of, I've spent a lot of time in Europe, but I mean, I've spent a lot of time in Europe. And I notice in every town, in every plaza, that's kind of how they set it up there, in the middle of every plaza, There's a fountain or a sculpture or a something and a bench. And it's just there because the truth of the matter is that life is horrible. And every once in a while, you just have to sit on a bench and look at something pretty.
Yep.
And they make this but an everyday part of life where, you know, I mean, it's looked down upon to be an artist. Hell, it's looked down upon to be a scientist. It's looked down to be like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, if we want to get into a discussion
Sure.
about America embracing anti-intellectualism, it's happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree, and we'll leave it there. Um, that's
Let alone chipping away at public schools for
Oh.
the last since the 70s.
I know. Heaven forbid we educate our populace.
Yeah, right. Well, dumb people are easier to push around.
This is true. So, thinking of
I bet you thought this was going to be light and fun. didn't
No,
you?
that's
Oh
I love where
no.
this could go. I love where it can go anywhere. Veering back a little bit to obviously you've been an actor for quite some time.
Yeah.
What was around the Cousin Oliver time? Was that your first thing, or did you have a little bit
Oh
before that?
no. I kind of started acting right out. I started getting jobs. I was always acting, but I was started getting jobs pretty much out of the gate.
Okay.
My parents are the German. They were German immigrants, small town people. Don't know anything about entertainment. Dad's a television repair guy, and my mom is a housewife. I want to be in a I had gotten really into the Universal monster movies.
Oh yeah.
So I really wanted to be in a monster movie. Mom, Dad, I want to be in a monster movie. And they're like, sure you do. Now run along. What do we know? When did I do? Maybe someday, So it was such a pain that they went, fine. And they got a newspaper and they looked for a cattle call where they just needed, they're like, we're looking for kids. And like 300 kids showed up at this thing. And I got the job. And so now my parents are like, no, I have to drive him around. And, an entertainment parent is like a soccer parent times 30.
I'll bet.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, and after I did it, I said, I want to do another one of those. So they were like, geez. So, find another cattle call, and both of them, we were waiting for about an hour and a half at a certain point, and my mom looks over at me, and again, I'm 7. My mom looks over at me and goes, wow, so a lot of people here, must be getting boring, you want to go home? And I looked up at her and I'm like, no. Like, you lost your mind?
It's part of the game, Mom.
Both times I walked in and I got it. And I was like, I had done like 6 jobs in a row before I didn't get one. And that's where they had a plan. And that plan was, well, it's pretty competitive. You see, you don't get every one. And I went, really? And I got like the next 7. So I worked a lot. And then, I mean, yeah. And so by the time Brady Bunch rolled around, I'm not belittling the thing,
Sure.
but it was just another job.
Right.
At the time.
Yeah.
And then it becomes all of this.
Oh, I know. That's gotta be weird. You're hearing something like mutant turtles, like what? And then you join it and you become part of this phenomenon.
Yeah. So, I mean, I knew about the comic book
Yes.
because I had friends who were comic book people,
Uh-huh.
So I was aware of it. I wasn't reading it regularly, but I knew it existed.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about the cartoon.
Yeah.
So they said, they're making a movie and we're going to have you read, Mikey. And I was like, they're making a movie for kids based on that comic book that I read. Wow, times really are
Yeah.
changing. And they thought it was going to fail. Golden Harvest was fairly convinced that Steve Barron wanted to make the comic book, and Golden Harvest wanted to make the cartoon because it sell toys. And it was a fight up until the very end. And they were like, this thing may not happen, right? So And I armed with this knowledge, on opening day, I go to the local multiplex because I am going to sit in an empty theater and I am going to bask in my own genius. I'll be like, oh, my performance. Well, too bad no one's here, but so this is what I'm expecting. I pull into the parking lot and there's a line of kids around the building. And I go to the ticket counter and I was like, so I'd like one for the 11:30. And they're like, that's great, but there aren't any.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry. She's like, no, we're sold out. I'm like, all right. Looking at the board, I'm like, 1:30? And she's like, no. All right. 4? No. What are you kidding me? This is just school day. What are these
Yeah.
people doing out? All right. 11 o'clock show. It's kids move. No. I couldn't get a ticket until Sunday. It was sold out 2 days in a row on its opening weekend. And then the craziness went from there. Next thing you know, there's they kind of rush out a second movie.
Yeah.
They do the tour, right? Turtles are on every bus, every billboard. I'm getting up at like 2 o'clock in the morning to do interviews in Australia, I'm over the phone and
Yeah.
whatever. It's a worldwide thing.
Oh yeah.
And uh, wow, because nobody thought this. And here we are 36 years later.
I know.
And we're still talking about the darn thing.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
How many kid movies? I know I keep jumping on you.
No. This is great.
How many kid movies can you think of that have come out since the 90s? A lot, actually. That's a demographic
Yeah.
they're aiming at. How many have the kind of clause in the zeitgeist that movie? There are people that come to my table and go, every time I order pizza, I go, pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
Same.
Right? So it's an unbelievable thing
Yeah.
to be involved in something that, like you said, makes people so happy.
Yeah. I was definitely part of that. I'm trying to think, first or second grade, that's around where I was maybe, and had the clothes, the shoes, the trapper keeper, the lunchbox. Like, oh man, it was so big. And fast forward to now, I'm an adult. I have my own children. I teach children. Same thing. Kids wearing turtles. Kids bringing turtles. Kids love the turtles. Like,
right. Now the Lego movie is really good. But you don't have kids at school with Lego movie everything.
Right.
Somehow this movie, these characters, and I think, because it's the cartoons.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of different entry points now.
Yeah.
I always say it's like James Bond.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people are Sean Connery James Bonds.
Yeah.
Some people are Daniel Craig James Bonds. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So there's all these different ways to get into it. And I think it also keeps it fresh. And
yeah.
the Seth Rogen movie came out 2 years ago or whatever, and it was a hit. So that means there was a ton of new converts.
Yeah.
And of course, they're all going to end up at the 90s movie anyway.
Oh yeah.
But whatever,
I'm glad something keeps coming out to keep it alive. And
yeah. And I think that's also part of its enduring thing. It is also really great though that, it's like Kiss or the Beatles, where you can pick your favorite and kind of when you're young and you're looking for identity, you're looking for who you are. I think these characters can assist you in your journey to selfdom.
yeah.
Whatever you know what I mean?
Yep.
I think it's why that crowd aligns itself with baseball players, and that crowd, you know what I mean? There are guys that are like, this basketball player I'm modeling basically my life over what I see here.
Yeah.
And the Turtles continue to do that.
Yeah.
Like you said, Donatello guy growing up, science now. Right? It's, you saw, whether you knew it or not,
right.
you saw yourself on a certain level in that character. Yeah.
And the cool thing is so many people have so many different lives in their everyday life. And personally, childhood was a little chaotic, to leave it at that. And
Mhm.
the things like the turtles and other wonderful entertainment things bring some escape for folks, give you a little, maybe like, let's sit down with these turtles for 2 hours, and those turtles are going to bring me a little bit of happiness today. And and it's just so cool that we have that. Like,
Also, our culture is a little more open to it now.
yeah,
Where I think if you were collecting toys and you were 35 in 1989, people would be like, why don't you grow up?
right,
It's time for you to put childish things down. Well, I'm happy that we're past, we live in a post oh grow up world,
right,
because what I think what these things represent is it's a tactile way to put your hand on something that can even a little bit transport you back to a time when you were simply happy.
yeah,
Now we're happy,
yeah,
but we're happy and there's that bill coming up at the end of the month, or
right,
we're happy, but I have to find a job, or whatever that is. Back then, if you were happy,
yeah,
that was it. You were just that.
yeah,
So you have a totem where you can put your hand on it, and maybe in bad times in your mind, you put your hand on it and go, "No, I was this way once.
yeah.
Right? I can be this. I can be this guy."
It's also the cool insight I have with current young people as a teacher is, when I was in high school, I couldn't outwardly be like, "Oh, I love the Turtles, I love Star Wars." Like, it was, and I just turned 40. I'm not terribly old.
Uh-huh.
Kids now, you got the jocks, the band kids, the smart kids. They all love all of it, and it's just okay. And that makes me so
Mhm.
happy.
Yeah, on a certain level, I think the human race is going to be okay,
Yep.
and I think part of it is that we have a lot of young people now looking up at grown-ups going, "Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is what you're giving me?"
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of them that are like, "You know what? That's not the world I want."
Right.
So, if we can not destroy the world before they get the shot, that's
Yeah.
gonna be great.
Yes. Yes. Okay. One thing I like to ask, and feel free to answer it however you want.
Yes.
I like to think of a popular character, so I'm going to go with Michelangelo.
Okay.
And if Michelangelo had some advice for some young people looking at ahead of their future, what would he say to them?
It may not look that way right now, but it's gonna be okay.
Amazing. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Totally true.
Yeah.
Totally true. And cowabunga.
Cowabunga.
Awesome. Well, hey man, thanks for stopping by for
Oh,
a
no,
few
thank you for
minutes,
having me. That
and
was
I really
super fun.
appreciate it. And
Yeah.
I hope you have a
Yeah.
good
Right
time
on.
here in the Midwest. And
Yeah, no, we've been having a ball here. It's great.
awesome. Well, I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.